Episode 5, Unearthing the Truth. Connected from Episode 4. The moment had arrived. The moment she had feared. The moment she'd always known would come. Yuki had spent years guarding the human papers, believing them to be hers alone to protect. She'd read them over and over, memorized every inked stroke, every word that had been silenced for generations. She had kept them hidden, afraid of what would happen if anyone ever knew. And now the communicator was waiting, not with force, not with urgency, but with expectation. "Show me." The words still echoed in Yuki's mind as she stepped beyond the doors of the hall. She was no longer just following orders. She was leading. And for the first time, the others were watching her go. Would they follow? Would they question? Or would they let the silence swallow them again? The choice no longer belonged to them. It belonged to her. And she had already made it. Returning to the hidden words. The path home felt different. For years, Yuki had walked these tracks unnoticed, unseen, a shadow moving between worlds. Now she could feel the weight of her own presence. She was choosing to be seen, choosing to act. Every step was a quiet defiance, a shift in the unspoken order that had bound them all for so long. The communicator walked beside her, silent. She did not ask questions. She did not press for details, because she already knew. She knew that the truth was already waiting. It only needed to be revealed. The hidden papers. Yuki hesitated at the threshold of her home. This place had been her sanctuary, her prison, her burial ground for secrets. The human papers were buried beneath the wooden floor under the Butsudan, the Buddhist home altar, locked away like something shameful. She had spent so many nights reading them in secret, tracing the old ink with trembling fingers, wondering who had written them, who had dared to speak when speaking was forbidden. And now it was her duty to unearth them. Her pulse thundered in her ears as she slowly knelt on the floor, sliding open the doors of the Butsudan and reaching inside. There she removed a loose panel so she could reach beneath it. The cavity below was insulated with flat slates underneath and around the sides. She had made it to fit the papers perfectly so they wouldn't get damaged if there was an earthquake. Then finally, after she had memorized the papers faultlessly, she sealed the cracks and crevices with hot wax, replacing the lid and sealing that also over with a thick layer of wax. This would protect them from floods that often happened around her house down by the canal. The wood was cool beneath her touch, smooth from the years she had spent pulling it away in the darkness. The communicator did not move, did not breathe a word. She simply watched. Yuki's hands trembled as she lifted the first worn parchment. The ink had faded, but the words still held power. They were written voices of those who had refused to be silenced. And now Yuki would carry them forward. She turned to the communicator, heart pounding. This is what they tried to erase. The communicator took the pages gently, running her fingers over the script as if she could feel the voices buried within. Not everything can be erased, she murmured. Yuki swallowed hard. For so long she had feared what revealing the truth would mean. But now it was no longer a choice. It was a responsibility. The words had waited long enough. The Millionaire Midwife connection, the moment of revelation. In The Millionaire Midwife, Junko had been given a choice. She could either accept the world as it was, or she could uncover the truth and let it reshape her path. The moment she chose to open her eyes, to acknowledge what had been hidden, was the moment she claimed her own transformation. And that is exactly what Yuki must do now. She is no longer just the guardian of the truth. She is the one who must bring it to light. Because once knowledge is unearthed, it cannot be buried again. The world must hear what has been silenced. And Yuki will be the one to speak it. Episode 6. A teaser. The communicator looked up from the pages, meeting Yuki's gaze. This is only the beginning. Yuki exhaled, the weight of the moment pressing against her ribs. Then tell me, what comes next? Episode 6. The First Truth Spoken. Coming soon.